skipper's done it.
Beautiful chapter it is for the Bombers.
Well, aside from the great John Coleman, no Essendon player has kicked more goals on debut than our special guest Scott Cummings. 8 goals, round 14, 1994 against the Sydney Swans. Scotty, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You set the bar pretty high with your first game.
Yeah, that wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. Let me just tell you that right now. It was a great game and enjoyed it. Made the big mistake of debuting with long sleeves. I really regret that. I remember doing some...
It was a bit common then, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I remember last year. I was calling a game last year. I reckon it was Sam Angola from Geelong was playing his first game for the Catters in a long sleeve, and I slaughtered him for 2 hours. Mate, you can't debut in a long sleeve. And then someone sent through a photo. I went, oh, yeah, okay. But, and then, so we had a good day against the Swans, and it was probably the worst thing I could do. She's didn't like a forward getting attention, did he? He didn't.
Because the next week he'll put you to the back line.
Yeah. Well, the week after we played North Melbourne, and surprisingly played full forward. It was one
For
of
a
the
quarter.
last times, and played on Mick Martin. And imagine Mick playing on this bloke in his second game who's had a fair amount of attention during the week. Just wanted to eat me alive, old Mickey. But and that was, I reckon I enjoyed that game more than I enjoyed the first one, because it was it was harder to get though. I think I kicked 4, and when I say I think I kicked 4.
Kick 4, yeah.
And,
A forward always knows. Mate, there's 7 marks,
I think
13 kicks.
I enjoyed that one better than that, but it was a good start. But and then our good mate Andy Marr, who was filling in for the editor-in-chief of Inside Football, wrote on the front page, "Is this the next Coleman?" Whereas she's just read that and went, "Oh, I'll show you."
Yeah.
I'll show you.
He's not, and he won't be, because I won't allow him to be, because I like flexibility.
I got to my locker on Monday, and there's a handwritten note from Rashid saying, "Don't be the next John Georgiades."
Another one on the
date, and wasn't seen much after that, and thought, okay, well, it's a fair chance I'm not going to get ahead of myself here.
Didn't he hate Media Street, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he really did. He hated a groundswell of support for someone, because he'd just go against it, and he certainly hated forwards getting attention.
If you had an article the week of a game, clearly usually on the back of a good one, and then didn't get a kick, did you hear about it?
So the Dennis Pagan stuff.
Yeah, very much so. I wonder whether Dennis learnt it from Sheeds when he was coaching the twos, or whether it was already ingrained in Dennis as just the old school coach, but you couldn't win.
It was always, you've had a really good day and you've gone, oh no, it's going to be a tough week. It's going to be a real tough week. You should be up and about, going to your beauty, but interesting times.
So what happened at Essendon, Scotty? I look at 96, and you kicked first 5 games that year. You kicked 6, 3, 3, 4, and 8, and you were gone by the end of the season. What happened?
Well, I don't really know what happened, because I struggled with Sheeds, and he clearly struggled with me. I didn't understand what he ever wanted from me. I'd go in and ask him, and he'd tell me something. I thought I went and did that, but then there'd be something else that was wrong. So that was his way of, I guess, I think that was the way that he decided he was going to motivate me, and that was not right for me. Sometimes you need a pat on the bum to say, mate, we can see you're trying, you're doing your best, and that's really good. And I didn't get that, but in saying that too, I'm not averse to a spray. So I've got plenty of those, and you wore a spray from the coach, and you just move on and you get on with it. But yeah, we had a strange relationship, and it ended badly for me at Essendon. I didn't like the way it was done, but when you look at it now, that's footy, and it makes you, what doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yeah, that's right. Choco's relationship that you had with him, clearly important in going to Port, choosing Port.
Wasn't it funny when Choco got to the footy club? Oh, mate, if I could have run him over in the car, I tell you what, he was...
And I would have been in the car behind him. Did you do the brick session?
Yeah, did a brick session with him at Windy Hill there.
He got me to clean up weeds one night with a shovel.
That is old
Out
school.
the front of training.
Do you know what? We look back at Choco now and just go, what a legend. He was so cool. And I'm not sure whether, because he just came in like a bull.
Oh, yeah, and I love Choco. So clearly, whatever the way went about it worked because you developed this good relationship with him despite him giving it to you the whole time.
He was good like that. And I'm not sure whether he grew on us or what, but it didn't take too long for everyone to go, oh, yeah, he's all right, this bloke, he's all right. I didn't trust him, he doesn't drink. So I don't trust too many blokes that don't drink, but what a star. But yeah, so it was that. It was probably Choco, and he somehow during '96, I reckon he had a line to Sheed saying, "Oh, you're dropping," or he had the meeting room bugged because he did leave. For those that forget, he left because he got the job at Port and then had to leave halfway through '96, and then Bomber became the reserves coach. So I had a lot to do with Bomber, but Jocko seemed to be outside Windy Hill every time I got dropped. He just walked to the car going, "Do you want to play senior footy?" I'm like, "What? Yeah, what?" And then so the call said Geelong or Port Adelaide, and I looked at the horizontal hoops of Geelong, and I reckon they're going to suit me in a few years' time.
Predominantly white away strip.
Yeah, and off to Port Adelaide we went. Yeah, but I didn't want to leave. I wanted to. Essendon offered me a contract over the phone. Danny Corkin offered me a contract over the phone. And I said yes. And it was this big pause down the end of the phone going,
"Really?"
Oh. It was a really bad deal. It was a really shocking contract, but I didn't want to go anywhere. And then I get the call from the manager 2 minutes later saying Port Geelong pick a club. Yeah. But yeah, that's the way it is. And in hindsight, it was a good decision. They had a couple of young blokes coming through, Jules, that weren't too bad.
I was going to ask you that. Scotty always says Lloydie cost him probably 500 goals. How many goals did Lloydie cost you?
800 and 150 games of footy.
That's right.
Well, there were days, like early days, and Lloydie would tell you too that at training, when you're doing the one-on-ones in the goal square, they said training, you used to do one-on-one, Jules. You used to do some man-on-man stuff, right? And we'd be down the goal square, we'd be partnered up. It was me and Lloydie, and the last kick of the night, Sheeds had put the ball in the air and says, "Whoever wins this plays on Saturday." Whacking at each other, that sort of thing, and it was like, wow, okay, but well, at the end of the day, fair careers for these two. They've sort of had me covered. So it was the right decision, I guess, from Essendon with the stocks that they had. I saw someone ask, questions about, whether if I stayed at the club, would I play full forward and move Lloydie, or would I play in the forward pocket next to him? And I think I'm saying that the answer would be I would be playing full forward. It's just the thing is it would be at 11:10, not the 2:20 Saturday go. Yeah. So it was good. It was good battles for positions then, weren't there? And you certainly earned a spot.
Yeah. So they come off a flag in '93. 94, they had the letdown. But there's still such a nucleus of good young players, wasn't there? So it was competitive, and then you had the older core.
And those older players, I mean, how good were they? I mean, you're Big Fish, who's just, I can still listen to Fish all day, every day. He's just a star. Mark Harvey was just brilliant. I mean, Wally was hard as. Bomber Thompson, Bomber would probably be my best captain I've ever had. And he's just a star. But Gary O'Donnell, Darren Buick as well, just ripping senior players that you could really listen to. But then all those young guys that came through and won the Baby Bombers flag in '93 were just stars as well. So it was a good side. It was a good side, but '94 was a letdown. That was my first year, and that was a disappointment that didn't make the finals then.
You were drafted '92, but didn't play till '94. Why didn't you come across in '93?
Yeah, I was really green. It's a question I get asked a lot. I was at the time. It was. I was probably petrified of moving to Melbourne. I'm living at Mum and Dad's house. I'm fresh out of school. I played 6 games of league footy in the Waffle with Swan Districts under John Todd, who's as hard as nails, but one of the best coaches I had for me. And I just thought I needed another 12 months. And I was green as I was doing this one and going for the ball, and I was skinny then. It's hard for people to envisage that, but I was. And so I put a big off-season in at the end of '92. And Michael Pryor was the same. So Essendon really got stitched up with that one there. And at the end of the day, it was a good decision, wasn't it? The Bombers go on to win with every young player that Sheeds can play, and I'm playing the Waffle. But again, I don't think I would have pushed the Big Fish out of a spot of that one there. But I just wasn't ready. And even when I came in January '94, it was still frightening. Moving from Perth to Melbourne, it took me probably 3 or 4 months before I felt like I
Well, you were
should be
drafted
here.
younger then too, weren't you?
Yeah,
Now, there's debate around should it go older again and relocating interstate. And I reckon clubs did as good a job as they could, but certainly the resources now around players are significant, aren't they?
Yeah, you see
helping them settle in.
You see it better than anyone, mate. There about the resources around to help players, and they've got so many. There's 500 football staff at that footy club now. There's you got your mentors, you've got your career guidance officer, you've got your what? Are they new? I think they might have just come in the last few years. Geez, I saw the back of a few dietitians. I lost a few dietitians' jobs there, but they've got so much support around them, haven't they, to come in, and the system's a lot more professional coming through as well. So
they're more in tune.
There's all the AIS and all that sort of stuff.
Of academy members.
Yeah. So, but it was hard. It wasn't. And the club put me up with a lady who worked at the footy club, and that didn't work for her or me. It was and then Alec Eppers got me for a month and said, mate, you got to get out there. Come. I said, well, I'm moving in with one of the boys. His house settles in a month. He goes, well, come and stay with me. So I stayed with Cooker for 4 weeks. A great man he is. Planted half of his vineyard one day. He got about 8 of us up there to Shadow Kookaburra before it had started and said, I'll put a barbecue on for you blokes. We said, okay. And the next thing we know, we're on our hands and knees planting his vines. He reckons most of us planted them upside down, but he's not giving us any credit. But then moved in with David Calthorpe. He bought his first house and moved in with Dave. And when I started living the young bloke's life and seeing how these guys go about it, I said, well, I think I do belong here. I think I'm quite settled here. So, that was a good learning curve for me too, living with Dave. He was a ripper.
Now, Scotty, very popular man still with the Essendon faithful on Twitter. There's some serious questions. There's a couple that are a bit tongue-in-cheek, which are a little bit smart asses
as well.
We will put those to Scott Cummings very shortly.